Hello and welcome to another edition of Cavs Daily presented by FanArt. I'm your host Paul Williams and you have found the one-stop shop for everything Cavs related and just a good fun environment for the Cavs fan and a basketball NBA fan in general. I really do think you will enjoy yourself here. If you would, before we get started, please hit the like, subscribe, comment, share, all the stuff. And with that out the way, let's get to the first topic of the day, talking about this coming season. If the it's a two-pronged question. Will the Cavs get to the 60 win marker for the second straight season, or will the Cavs fall a little short? And either way, does that matter to you? Will it move you at all? Will you be disappointed if we only win 54 games? Will you be super excited if we win 63 again, or I'm sorry, 64 again, or win 63, 62? Uh, what is your mind state as far as the Cavs' regular season success this year? I personally have went back and forth on this as far as will they get the 60 wins again? That is definitely not an easy thing to do, and not many teams in history have done that. The Cavs made it look pretty easy last year, but don't get it twisted. That is not going to come around very much. It was only the third time it's ever happened, and the Cavs for a while looked like they were going to break the all-time franchise record of 66 wins, but slowed down from that pace. Who knows? Maybe they get to the low 60s with 5, 6 games left again this season and go a little harder to break the record. But either way, these are conversations that you're rarely going to have going into a season about an NBA team, at least if you're being realistic. 60 wins is not it's just not normal. A lot of times the conference is won with a team winning less than 60 games. So it's not an easy thing to do by any means, but I actually do think the Cavs will once again win 60 games and possibly push for the repeat of a 64 win season or more. And a lot of things that went into that thought process. As for a while, I was thinking maybe the Cavs will take a step back when it comes to how they approach the regular season. Maybe, I don't know if I want to say take their foot off the gas, but save a little bit for April and May and June when it's playoff time. But then I thought about the fact that all of our starters and star players played between 29 and 30, just below 31 minutes a game already last season. So you can't drop them much lower than that. They all missed at least a little time besides Jared Allen, who played in all 82. So they all were getting rest days here and there as well. So it's not like the Cavs can really do a lot differently as far as like playing time, minutes, things of that nature goes. The guys are going to play at least close to the amount that they were already playing last season. They're also going to have another year under the Kenny Atkinson system to get more comfortable with how the offense and also the defense is ran. I think their defense will improve this season and get back to the top 5 defense they were the couple seasons prior. And I also think that the competition will be a bit easier this season with the East, at least having some injury issues that we already can see, and most likely not going to be as competitive as it was last season. So, with all those reasons in mind, I do think the Cavs will win 60 plus games again this season. And I do think it would matter if they do, because, like I said, this is not something that happens all the time. I mean, even in all LeBron's years here, he only did it twice. And most teams just aren't going to win 60 games in a given season. And if you're a consistently top level team, you might win 60 one out of your five competing seasons of that window, but you're not going to rip off 60 wins consistently back to back all the time. So it is an accomplishment for sure. It is something to take pride in. And I think if the Cavs do have another season like that, we definitely should not take it for granted and appreciate what we have in front of us, because it's not something you're going to see very often as you follow whichever team you cheer for in the NBA. Now, if the Cavs are going to win 60 games this season, they're going to have to do it with, I don't want to say a thin big man rotation, but a rotation with not a ton of room for error. I mean, they have obviously the best big man duo of Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. But after that, they have Larry Nance Jr., who is more of a power forward, can play center in a pinch, and will play it hard and work his tail off to compete. But he's 6'9". He's built more for the power forward role. And outside of that, we really have no one that has any real NBA experience or can realistically be expected to contribute to an NBA team, especially a championship level NBA team. So I know we get creative a lot of time anyways, playing DeAndre Hunter, Dean Wade, guys like that at the power forward, and putting Mobley at the center with the minutes Allen are not on the court, and we stagger Allen and Mobley very well. So it usually isn't too much of an issue. But I mean, knock on every piece of wood you could find. But what if one of those two guys are out for a substantial amount of time? Uh, do the Cavs just start small and then keep Larry Nance coming off the bench as the only real big? Do they then go out and sign someone? Should they be looking to sign someone now? Should they bring back Tristan Thompson to at least have some type of depth that you know you can count on? Or do they try to strike a miracle with Al Horford, who is still floating out there? There really aren't very many big men that are free agents at the moment outside of those names. So it's not like we could just go short up with anyone we want. But it is a real question and something the Cavs do have to keep an eye on. I would love for them to bring back Tristan Thompson personally. He is still a free agent, and he can. I think he showed the last couple of years he can still hold his own when he is on the court. He's not going to be a huge negative if he has to play 8 to 10 minutes in a pinch, and he's just someone that you have to be comfortable with as a Cavs fan after all these years, and you're definitely familiar with. He's a good culture guy. He loves his teammates. He fights for his teammates. So I do think the Cavs could do well adding at least one more big, and I think Tristan Thompson would be that perfect guy. Speaking of adding someone, what happened to the rumors the Cavs were looking to add Malik Beasley, or for that matter, what happened to the rumors about Malik Beasley, period? From all we were told, they're done investigating him as far as any gambling ties go. But it's kind of weird. It's been weeks now since that news has came out, and he still hasn't signed. I mean, this is a guy that was a top three finisher for Sixth Man of the Year last year. He's a 3-and-D guy that shot over 40% on high volume from three, and he'd be a perfect fit on a lot of contending teams, which just lends me to believe there's got to be more to it, and I don't know if he's all the way in the clear. I mean, when they first said that they had cleared his name, that's when some rumors did pop up as far as what teams were entertaining making a pitch at Beasley. But I just think with the time of year and how close we're now getting to the season getting underway, it seems very surprising he hasn't signed a deal or at least had some real smoke as far as rumors goes with where he's either thinking about heading to, or a team is highly chasing him and they are getting close to the deal, or they have offered him this or that. We haven't seen or heard anything of the nature since the first day or two that they released the end of the investigation. So I think there's more to the story. I think we will find out that Beasley hasn't been all the way cleared yet, because it just doesn't make sense for a guy like that to not be signed within days of him being cleared, with how many teams could use his services around the NBA, as we're now just outside of a month until the season tips off. And finally, to wrap up today's episode, just a little fun thought process, talking about a possible trade of two guys who were in the same draft. And honestly, I feel like the Cavs did better getting who they got at the fifth spot than the Grizzlies did getting Ja Morant. But if the Cavs offered, say, Darius Garland and Evan, or I'm sorry, stop it, let's not get crazy. Darius Garland and Dean Wade, and maybe a second round pick, but I don't even think it would mean or need to be that much for Ja Morant, which side do you think would or should turn it down? Would the Cavs want to bring Ja Morant in on a almost identical contract as Darius Garland, but Ja's not the shooter Darius Garland is. He's not the creator for others Darius Garland is. He's more of a explosive, head down, go to the rack type of point guard. And I just think he'd be a very clunky fit with Donovan Mitchell and what we have built here. And I don't like it from the Cavs side. And that's just thinking about swapping Darius for Ja Morant straight up. If you add in anything else from the Cavs side, even if it is just a Dean Wade, who is a rotational piece, I don't do it, and I don't like it from the Cavs. And if we're going off name value, I think the Ja Morant side would win. But if we're talking about fits for your team, I think the Cavs are better off with Darius Garland. As far as Memphis, I don't know. I think they might be a little tired of the Ja Morant experience. It hasn't really resulted in much success. Even the couple of years they had good regular season success, they didn't do anything in the playoffs. He hasn't been outside of the second round, and he's missed the playoffs the past couple of years. They did. I take that back. They did squeeze into the eighth seed this year, and then get absolutely trampled and embarrassed by OKC. So, misleading statement by me. They did make the playoffs, but I think they wish they didn't. And yeah, I think Memphis might actually think bringing in another young point guard with a whole different attitude, no baggage, no father front row at every game. A guy like Darius Garland, I think that could be a enticing conversation for the Grizzlies. So I think they would at least consider it. At the end of the day, I don't think they do it more because of the backlash they'd probably get because of the fans that Ja Morant does have. But yeah, I think the Cavs would be better off with Darius Garland than Ja Morant at this moment with this very team that we have. I think Darius Garland is the perfect point guard for what we do, and I think Ja Morant would be the exact opposite of the type of point guard a team like this Cleveland Cavaliers team would need. So I say no if I'm the Cavs, and I don't think we have to worry about it either way because I don't think that would be a trade that would be proposed from either side. But it was just an interesting thought process, especially given the fact that I think most casual fans would say, of course, the Ja Morant side would win. But I think whoever's getting DG would come out ahead as far as a piece on a winning basketball team. With that, that's going to do it talking about this winning basketball team for today. But no worries, I will be back tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. And I hope you guys will enjoy each and every episode with me. Like, subscribe, comment, and check back in tomorrow. And another drop and another banger will be there waiting. I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a great evening.